Here's what most people miss. Automakers did this on purpose. Let's start with why. How cars became subscriptions on purpose. Everything clicked when I realized automakers hit peak auto. Car sales in mature markets flattened, costs climbed, and investors stopped rewarding volume alone. When your unit margins are squeezed by incentives, warranty reserves, and recalls, you don't pitch "we'll sell more cars." You pitch "we'll make more per customer" every month. The language changed from price per vehicle to lifetime value and ARPU, average revenue per user. In other words, turn a car into a platform, then meter the features. Okay, so basically the plan is simple. Ship the hardware, lock it in software, and sell access. Heated seats? The coils are installed. Performance mode? The motor and inverter can handle it, but the toggle lives behind your account. Think of it like buying a fridge that can make ice, but the ice button is grayed out unless you pay $9.99 a month. The weird part is it's not a technical necessity, it's a business model decision. Here's what most people miss. Over-the-air updates, OTA, aren't just bug fixes. They're paywalls. Automakers built app stores and connected services, layers that sit between you and features already in the car. BMW tested subscription access for heated seats and steering wheel warmers. Tesla sells acceleration boost and full self-driving as software unlocks. Mercedes offered EQ speed or acceleration increases for a monthly fee. None of these require swapping parts in your driveway. It's code, provisioned remotely, billed to your card. Why does that matter? Because it moves revenue from a one-time option box at purchase to recurring cash flow later. On a CFO slide, that's night and day. A $500 heated seat option becomes $18 a month forever. A $2,000 performance package becomes $30 to $100 a month. Multiply that by millions of vehicles, and you can tell Wall Street, we're a software company now. Investors tend to value predictable recurring revenue higher than cyclical unit sales, so stock multiples can expand without building more cars. Dealers saw the play too. For years, dealer profits shifted from metal margins to F&I, finance, and insurance. That's the office where you sign, and they sell you extended warranties, tire and wheel, gap, and service contracts. Subscription upsells fit right in. Concierge packages, telematics plans, remote start access, and app features that sound like safety but often bundle convenience. It's profits by paper. Add a few lines, raise monthly a bit, and anchor it with peace of mind. Think of connected services as gatekeepers. You might pay for remote lock/unlock, navigation traffic, voice assistant, even smartphone integration beyond a basic level. Some brands sunset features after a trial and nudge you toward the plan that re-enables them. It's not exactly bait and switch, but it leverages habits. Once you use preconditioning or lane-keeping customization daily, losing it feels like a downgrade, even if the car didn't physically change. Now regulation is trying to catch up. Right-to-repair advocates argue that software locks block independent repairs and reduce owner control. There are antitrust murmurs around tying hardware to proprietary service ecosystems. The EU has pushed on digital goods fairness and subscription disclosures. The US is a patchwork. Some states passed automotive right-to-repair provisions. The FTC has signaled scrutiny of dark patterns, and lawsuits challenge deceptive subscription flow. But here's the timeline reality. Policy lags tech. Each model year ships with deeper OTA hooks while regulators debate definitions. Here's the counterintuitive part. Shipping hardware locked can actually cut manufacturing complexity. One build, same seats, same sensors, same wiring harness. Then monetize capability later. Fewer SKUs, simpler logistics, higher gross margins. And if resale value weakens because features are tied to accounts rather than the car, that can reinforce control. The next owner pays again to unlock, and the OEM captures more of the lifecycle value instead of the used market. Let's talk investor guidance. Major automakers now break out software and services targets on earnings calls, software revenue per vehicle per year, attach rates for premium connectivity, take rates for driver assist bundles. They speak in SaaS metrics, ARPU, churn, cohort behavior. They run experiments, free 3 months, then convert, price elasticity tests by region, feature packaging to lift conversion. You'll even hear LTV/CAC language, lifetime value over customer acquisition cost, applied to vehicle buyers and lessees. Dealers, meanwhile, adapt scripts. The pitch goes, it's only $12 a month for remote start and safety alerts. Monthly framing disarms resistance. Over 36 months, that's $432 plus taxes. Add 1 or 2 more subscriptions, and you've silently offset the discount you negotiated on the sticker. And because many of these get added to your loan or lease, you may be paying interest on software. Here's what most people miss about leases and subscriptions. A traditional lease already separates usage from ownership. You rent the depreciation. Now layer features as a service. You're renting capability on top of renting the asset. If a feature boosts your driving experience, you pay monthly for access. If you return the car, the feature stays with the brand's server, not the physical vehicle. That makes your payments feel like a utility bill, not an investment in an asset. There's also a data dimension. Telematics streams driving behavior, location, and component health back to manufacturers. That data improves diagnostics, sure, but it also informs pricing and packaging. If analytics show drivers in cold climates are most likely to convert on heated features in November, expect targeted promotions. If they see high engagement with adaptive cruise on commutes, that bundle gets repriced. Data turns cars into feedback loops that optimize revenue, not necessarily your savings. You might wonder, isn't this just like smartphones? Kind of, but with higher stakes. Cars carry financing, insurance, and safety implications. If a phone app upsells you, you can switch platforms in 2 years without wrecking your net worth. A vehicle has multi-year obligations and heavy depreciation. Monetizing after the sale shifts more risk to you. If your budget tightens, losing core functions hurts more, and exit options are pricey. Right-to-repair pressure has nudged some wins, access to diagnostic data, parts availability. But software locks are a tougher frontier. The license to the code is almost always non-transferable, non-perpetual, and revocable under terms you accept at delivery or in-app. Which brings us to a key point we'll unpack later. The one paragraph that lets them change features and pricing after you buy. Remember that phrase, feature access not guaranteed. So why did automakers chase subscriptions? Because investors demanded recurring revenue, hardware parity made software gating feasible, dealers needed new profit centers, and OTA made it all scalable. A car that used to be a one-time sale is now a stream. Small add-ons that seem harmless, multiplied over years. It's the business model, not a tech inevitability. Okay, but what does this model actually cost you over time? The monthly number feels manageable, and the feature list looks generous. The real math lives in the background, across years, through fees and inside fine print. That's where $50,000 can disappear while you think you're saving a few bucks a month. Let's break down the quiet arithmetic next. The quiet math behind the $50,000 drain. Here's what most people miss. You don't buy cars with math, you buy them with monthly feelings. The payment sounds fine, the term feels distant, and the add-ons seem small. Okay, so basically, the only number that matters is lifetime total cost over your real holding period. Not the MSRP. Not the it's only $19 a month. The simple version is TCO. Payment plus taxes and fees, insurance, maintenance and repairs, subscriptions, and penalties. Then layer depreciation, the silent monster. Because that's the part you pay whether you see it or not. Quick gut check. If the monthly feels comfortable, ask yourself which bias is talking, payment myopia, optimism about future income, or loss aversion about giving up a feature you barely use. Why does this matter? Because comparing $499 versus $569 a month without context is how you lose. A $70 difference looks tiny, until you multiply it by 84 months, add interest, taxes, and turn on fees, and then realize you're also paying for connected services and feature unlocks that don't stick with the vehicle when you need to cut costs. The aha is shifting from "can I swing this?" to "what's my cost per mile over the years I'll actually keep it?" Let's break TCO down in plain English. Payment, principal plus interest on the loan or money factor on a lease. Taxes and fees, sales tax, registration, title, doc fees, acquisition, disposition. Insurance, premiums that rise with vehicle value, tech packages, and sometimes telematics-driven pricing. Maintenance and repairs, oil, tires, brakes, or items out of warranty surprises. Subscriptions, connected services, app features, OTA unlocks, maps. Remote start, driver assist tiers. Penalties, excess mileage, wear and tear at least turn in, early termination, and random reactivation or transfer charges. Add it up, divide by years and miles, and you finally see the real cost. Here's where the model bites. With buying and financing, you front-load paying, down payment, higher early interest. But as you own longer, annual cost tends to drop because depreciation slows and the note eventually ends. With leasing, you rent the steepest slice of depreciation, then hand the car back and start over. With subscriptions layered on top, your baseline never truly falls. Even if the asset ages, the features you want can stay on a meter. If you cycle every 3 years, you keep resetting depreciation to max and never benefit from the cheaper years. Hidden costs sneak in through the side door. Leases add acquisition fees up front and disposition fees at the end, plus charges for excess where that include curbed wheels, windshield chips, and beyond normal tire wear. There are telematics or connected services, line items that quietly auto-renew. OTA locks can mean functionality degrades after trials unless you pay. Exceeding mileage? Every 10,000 miles over a common cap at 25 cents a mile is $2,500. Real cash for usage that didn't feel like a big deal month to month. Here's the counterintuitive part. Depreciation capture often favors the manufacturer. When they set residual values on leases, they project future worth. If the used market sours, they bake protection into fees and end-of-lease inspections. If values rise, embedded software and account-bound features can keep upside with the brand because the next owner has to pay again for access, limiting the car's appeal unless reactivated. You take usage risk, they keep pricing power. Let's do a simple, conservative comparison across an 8-year horizon. Same model, 2 paths. Buyer A finances a lightly used 3-year-old car at a reasonable rate, pays it off in 4 years, and keeps it for 8. Buyer B leases new every 3 years and adds subscriptions for comforts and convenience. Buyer A, purchase price $24,000, $4,000 down, $20,000 financed at 6% for 48 months. Monthly around $469. Total loan payments roughly $22,500. Sales tax and fees, say $2,000. Insurance averages $1,600 a year, older car, 8 years total $12,800. Maintenance and repairs, early years light, later years heavier. Budget $1,000 a year on average, $8,000 total. Subscriptions? Keep it minimal, assume $1 beyond a phone connection. After 8 years, resale may be $8,000. TCO rough math. $22,500 plus $2,000 plus $12,800 plus $8,000 to $8,000 equals $37,300. If they drive 12,000 miles a year, 96,000 miles total, that's about 39 cents per mile. The key, years 5 through 8 are cheap, no payment, just upkeep. Buyer B, leases new at $449 a month, 36 months, $2,500 due at signing, acquisition fee $795, disposition fee $395. That's about $19,659 over 3 years including fees before taxes. Add subscriptions, $25 for connectivity, $15 for heated features in winter average to $7 monthly, $20 for NAV/assist bundle. Call it $52 a month, $1,872 over 3 years. Insurance on a new car runs higher, say $2,000 a year, $6,000 per term. No major repairs, but you replace tires once and pay $300 in minor where dings at turn in. Total for one lease, roughly $19,659 plus $1,872 plus $6,000 plus $300 equals $27,831. Do that twice for 6 years, $55,662. Extend to 8 years, you start a third lease. Even if you bridge with a shorter 24-month term at a similar effective cost, you're near $80,000 after taxes and fees. And you own nothing. Your cost per mile at $12,000 a year is around 83 cents, more than double Buyer A's path. But wait, you say, what about new car warranty peace of mind? Fair point. But that piece often gets sold as an all-in bundle that includes margin-heavy services you won't use. And it doesn't remove penalties. Go over miles by 12,000 across a term, that's $3,000. Scratch 2 wheels? Add $500. Miss a required scheduled service? Expect a charge. And those subscriptions? If you stop paying, You lose the convenience you got used to, making the car feel worse even though nothing broke. Here's what most people miss about holding period. The decision to keep a car 8 to 10 years is where wealth sneaks back into your pocket. Years 1 through 3 are depreciation heavy. Years 4 through 8 are stability. If you keep resetting to zero with new leases or subscription-heavy cycles, you never enjoy the stability phase. It's like investing and selling every time the market dips. You lock in cost and miss compounding savings. Now, the $50,000 headline isn't magic. It's the stack. Higher insurance on new models, recurring app layers, feature unlocks, acquisition/disposition churn, mileage penalties, and constant reset of depreciation. Swap only $19, only $25, only $30 into a ledger and run it 8 years, and you've built a second car's worth of spending without ending up. With an asset you can sell. One more quiet fee, financing software. When dealers roll subscriptions or prepaid plans into your loan, you're paying interest on software access. A $1,200 plan at 7% over 60 months adds interest for a service that might sunset before your term ends. In other words, time-shifting convenience into debt. So the simple rule for the math: choose the path where your annual cost declines over time, not the one that resets. Focus on cost per mile over your real holding period, not the monthly anchoring. Treat subscriptions like candy at checkout. If it doesn't cut your lifetime cost or risk, it's profit for them, not protection for you. Everything clicks when you see the ledger, not the brochure. And the scale tips on a paragraph you probably didn't notice, because contract language decides whether those features and fees can change after you've signed. The one paragraph nobody reads, Contracts 101. Here's what most people miss. The pricing and features you see on delivery day aren't locked in by the window sticker. They're controlled by a paragraph buried in the terms. Okay, so basically, contracts decide the future of your car. Not the brochure, not the salesperson's promises. The clause that gives the company power to change access, pricing, and even functionality later. Why does this matter? Because that single paragraph shifts leverage. If a brand can modify software terms unilaterally, your heated seats forever quietly becomes heated seats while you pay. If they can discontinue legacy plans, you wake up to a pop-up asking for your card. The confusion costs you optionality, your ability to say no without losing something you already use. The aha moment is realizing you didn't buy the feature, you licensed it. The simple version is 3 concepts: unilateral modification, feature access not guaranteed, and software license only. Unilateral modification says the company may change terms, pricing, or available services at any time, sometimes with notice via the app. Feature access not guaranteed says connected features and digital services may be added, removed, or altered without obligation. Software license only says you're not buying code. You're getting a revocable, non-transferable license to use it, often tied to your account, not the car. Think of unilateral change like your landlord being able to rewrite your lease midterm. They can't raise your rent tomorrow without consequences, but in software, that's common. Automakers frame it as service updates to maintain security and performance. In other words, they reserve the right to rebundle, reprice, or sunset features through an update. That's where OTA language enters. Updates may alter functionality. It sounds benign, like bug fixes, but it's a legal path to add or remove capabilities. Here's the weird part. Remote disable is often baked in. If a car can turn on a feature remotely, it can turn it off. Terms sometimes state that access can be suspended or terminated for non-payment, safety, or policy reasons. That's normal for a phone app. It's different when it governs defrosters, remote start, or driver assist settings you rely on. Brick by update isn't common, but the risk exists. An update can require new terms, and declining them can degrade service. Data consent is the shadow clause that loops back into your costs. Telematics terms authorize collection and sharing of driving behavior, vehicle health, location, and usage with affiliates or partners, sometimes including insurers and service providers. They say it's to improve products, fight fraud, or provide discounts. What it actually means is a feedback loop. Your data informs risk scores that shape premiums or loan pricing later. Say you opt into usage-based insurance for a 5% discount. Those habits may follow you across renewals and lenders, and if the model flags you as hard braking, night driving, your rates can climb. You saved $12 today and traded permanent data capture. Nobody explains arbitration and class action waivers right, but they matter. Buried near the end, they say disputes must go to individual arbitration and you waive your right to class actions. That limits your leverage if a pattern emerges. Say, an update removes a feature across thousands of cars. Instead of one coordinated case, each owner fights solo. That raises dispute costs beyond what most people will spend, which quietly reduces refunds and keeps the monetization intact. Viral takeaway. If there's an opt-out window, use it within 30 to 60 days. Set a calendar now, so you're not trapped alone if a widespread change hits later. Here's a quick micro-story. A viewer named Kay reached out after her SUV lost the ability to auto-dim high beams post-warranty. The hardware still worked. The setting vanished into a Driver Assist Plus tier. Support said, a recent update grouped certain features for consistency and offered a 12-month plan. She pushed back. It worked when I bought it. The answer: feature access isn't guaranteed, see terms. She paid for a year, then sold the car. The resale listing said auto high beam, subscription ready. Translation: the next owner pays too. Okay, so basically, the OTA clause is the hinge. It often reads like, to enhance safety and performance, we may update, modify, or remove software, and continued use constitutes acceptance. If you decline, services may be limited. That's the loop. Accept and live under new pricing. Refuse and lose functionality. It's not evil. It's a design for flexibility on their side. You might ask, can't regulators stop this? Sometimes. A few jurisdictions require clear, affirmative consent for auto-renewing subscriptions and easy cancellation. Right to repair settlements push for diagnostic access. Some regions discourage paywalling safety-critical features. But most contracts carve out connected services as separate from the sale of the vehicle, which keeps the core legal structure intact. They sell you the car, they license the software. Here's the counterintuitive bit about resale. Because licenses are account-bound, not car-bound, the second owner often starts from zero. Even if the hardware is in the seats and cameras, features may require fresh activation. That weakens used values, which should annoy manufacturers. But it can also funnel buyers back into certified channels where activation fees and subscriptions flow to the brand. In practice, weaker peer-to-peer resale can reinforce OEM control. So how do you read the paragraph in time? Scan for 5 phrases. May modify or discontinue. Feature access not guaranteed. License, transfer, and arbitration. If modify/discontinue appears without a pricing cap or legacy clause, assume prices can rise. If feature access isn't guaranteed, plan for bundles to shift. If it's a license, not a sale, assume remote disable is possible. If transfer requires consent, expect reactivation fees on resale. If arbitration is mandatory, your recourse is limited. Everything clicked for me when I realized the contract defines your future budget. If the company can unilaterally change terms, the only $15 today becomes now $22.99, and your choices are pay, downgrade, or accept degraded function. That's why lifetime cost calculations from the last section go sideways. We assumed features and prices were stable. The fine print says otherwise. Why do people accept it? Because they never see it. The salesperson says free trial for a year, not license revocable at will. The app says agree to continue, not agree to higher prices later. And the features work on day one, so your brain files it under included. Only later does the paywall slide into view. It's not a trick, it's sequencing. Remember this detail, it's gonna matter. The most protective contracts have a line like features purchased at delivery remain available for the life of the vehicle without additional fees. If you can't get that in writing, assume the default is the opposite. And that one clause, the unilateral modification, decides whether your budget is stable or a moving target. Which raises a bigger question. If the fine print is that lopsided, why do so many of us still sign? That's where psychology takes over. Behavioral traps that make bad deals feel good. Here's what most people miss. The worst car decisions don't feel bad in the moment. They feel smart, even responsible.